Hello. There's a movie out there, or a cartoon I should say, titled Systemic Racism Explained. And I have a few issues with that I'd like to use an analogy and kind of tell you why I disagree with the whole premise of that movie. One, this movie is being shown to kids, and I have grave concerns about that. But the analogy I'd like to use is from my own life in baseball. And I know this will only take just a couple minutes, but it's something that I'll tie together at the end, and you won't really know where I'm going to start. My youngest son, both my kids played baseball. The younger one had an opportunity for his team to be taught by an ex-professional. And I sat in on a few practices and then took what I learned to the older boys team, and they were junior high age at the time. Took one of the bigger, slower kids on the team, and we'll use this bucket for first base since I don't have a first base. And I put all the pitchers out on the mound, and I put this bigger, slower kid on first base, and I said, now take your normal lead. And he did this, about 3 foot off the bag. So I asked the pitchers, are any of you guys going to throw over and try to pick this kid off? And they said, no, we're not going to waste our time with that. So then I asked the bigger, slower kid, I said, you're like 6'1", 6'2". What if all you did was fall over? Do you think they could pick you off? And he said, no. So I said, get a 6-foot lead. Now all you got to do is fall over, and you're not going to get picked off. And I asked the pitchers, are you going to try to pick him off? They said, yeah, maybe once. So I said, now instead of just falling over, let's get a couple more steps. Now I want you, when that pitcher goes to throw you to first, I want you to take a step and dive and touch the bag. Do you think they'll be able to get you? And he said, well, probably not. So then I asked the pitchers, are you going to try to pick him off? And they all agreed they would definitely try. And I said, how many times are you going to throw over here till you get him? And they all agreed they would throw over there until they got it. And they're not going to, because the kid's got it in his head, I'm just one step and diving. Another little tidbit if you are a baseball coach too. Touch the bag with your right hand so that you're laying on your side and looking into the outfield. 2 reasons. You don't get pasted in the face, you get hit in the back of the helmet if it's a wild throw. And if it's a wild throw that's going into the outfield, you're the first one to see it, you get up and trot to second. We implemented this the very next game. And this team was playing a lower level of baseball. And it's a level where really none of these kids had a shot at the high school team. It was a big school, 450 in a class, something to that effect. And these lower level teams just really didn't stand a chance. Well, we implemented this, and every single base runner on the team was doing it. So it wasn't just the big slow kid. So those pitchers are throwing over to first trying to pick our guys off every time they got on base. And by the time you had 3 or 4 kids that got on base, that pitcher had thrown 15 throws to first trying to get him out. You just killed an inning for that pitcher. That's 15 pitches. So we get into their bullpen way sooner. Anyway, the team performed phenomenally the rest of the season. I remember one game we even had the kids all bat opposite-handed. Most of them were right-handed, so we had them all batting left-handed because we were crushing them so bad. And the result of that year, and it was the year before they tried out for the freshman team, 3 of these kids made the freshman team in high school. Unheard of. This lower level team will not ever get kids on the high school team, but we did it. And the rest of the team stuck together, and they played their whole year at the lower, or the rest of their 4 years at that lower level, and had a blast. Now, why is this analogy something I'm pointing out to go with that Systemic Racism Explained movie? If you watch that movie, and I would encourage all of you to see it once, it's a cartoon, it's not very long, but if you watch that movie, it's directed towards lower income, minority kids. And there is nothing in that that is going to teach a minority kid that he should try to get good grades and try to move on and make something out of his life. The whole thing, the only thing they could possibly get out of it is it's rigged against me, I can't do anything. So why even try? That is not teaching the chubby, slow kid how to steal second base. That's telling the chubby, slow kid he's got no chance and he might as well quit. This movie is extraordinarily offensive to me, and I feel like it is just straight up child abuse. You don't tell a kid he can't make the high school team. You don't tell him he can't play college ball. You don't tell him he'll never make the pros, even if all of that's true. That's the last thing you tell him. You tell him, when you get up to bat, I want you to club it like a baby seal. Hit the crap out of life. Let's go out and win.